historically our relationship to wildlife in North America. It used to be like, what is wildlife useful for? How does it serve humans? Let's cleanse the land of wolves, bears, cougars to allow for these ideas of Western expansion and taming the wilderness. In more recent decades, that's shifted to something that we would say is more inclusive, more mutualistic, where healthy populations of all the species are valued. I think the more we know about wolves, the better relationship we can have with wolves. The Voyageurs Wolf Project is a research project based at the University of Minnesota, and it's focused on understanding wolf ecology, biology, conservation, management of wolves in northern Minnesota, particularly in and around Voyageurs National Park, up along the Canadian border. In our study system, in the greater Voyageurs ecosystem, it is almost impossible to go out and observe wolves with dense forests and dense vegetation. It is really different than observing wolves, say out west, where you have areas that are relatively open and with long lenses and the right binoculars, you can watch wolves in an incredible way. But with trust fund support, we've been able to use two main tools to study wolves in northern Minnesota. Small, inconspicuous, but very effective automatic remote cameras that record video of wolves and anything else that triggers their sensors. This camera array, which is currently approaching 300 cameras, generating tens of thousands of video recordings, allows us to study pup survival, territory boundaries, and additional packs where we might not have successfully put a collar on a pack member. So then we have GPS collars that we put on wolves. Our goal every year is to have 12 to 15 active collars generating GPS locations every 20 minutes all summer long, that we then have to use some data filtering, some algorithms to say, of those GPS locations, if they're tightly clustered, that means the wolf did something of interest there. So then we have a field crew, 6 to 8 individuals who visit these locations. And uniquely for the Voyageurs Wolf Project, we do complete cluster searches, which is critical to our ability to study rates of predation. Sometimes you're down on your hands and knees looking for minute evidence, a fawn hoof, a bit of beaver hair, a wolf bed. And that allows us to generate data about how wolves are making a living. The GPS collars also allow us to look at territoriality. So if we collar a wolf, it's going to move through a territory and it's going to illustrate the boundaries of that territory. And then when we study multiple wolves in multiple packs, you can color code them and get this great illustration of pack dynamics. So one of the novel things that we've learned is how wolves hunt beavers, and that has really important implications for the landscapes. Beavers are ecosystem engineers that create these incredible networks of dams and ponds and lodges, and they can affect how the water flows, how much water is stored on the landscape. Our science has revealed that when wolves kill a beaver, 80% of the time that dam will fail, influencing entire wetland complexes. The ability to make these connections is a real key insight and breakthrough in wolf ecology. And the trust fund enables us to generate really defensible data. Then the challenge is analyzing all that data because it informs the policy, the management, and the broader debate on wolves. Our philosophy with the outreach campaign through social media is deliver the science in the most charismatic, engaging way possible. I loosely call it bringing the field to the phone, because everyone's got a phone, but not everyone can get up north to the field we work in. When we look at the reach of our social media, where people are following from, it's certainly global. So in that way, the trust fund has an impact beyond the borders of Minnesota. And that allows for this global understanding of wolf ecology and correspondence with researchers all over the world. The greatest challenge we face is sustaining the project in the long term. We don't receive federal funding. We don't have direct financial support from the National Park Service or a state agency. So grants from the trust fund are critical to our success. Minnesotans are connected to wolves culturally. They're an iconic species of what the Northwoods means symbolically. I think that is in part why most Minnesotans are really proud that they've been able to sustain wolf populations.